Hey y'all, I wanted to come to y'all and talk about something that's been really heavy on my heart. Like, I took my daughter to a protest. She's 5. I took my little girl to a protest. And although it was peaceful for the most part, I regret it. I honestly regret it. Let's talk about, should we really be bringing our children to these protests?
You're a familiar face. I will be right where you are.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm just sitting here outside enjoying the sun and all of that. Normally I do the videos inside, but I still just want to enjoy some fresh air as I sip my lemon and cucumber water. Get into it, honey, okay? She's detoxing. So I wanted to touch on a few things that was really heavy on my heart. I took my 5-year-old to a protest, local protest. I'm not really going to get into how the protest itself made me feel in my local hometown, really how it made me feel. I really wanted to talk about how much I regretted it. Although it was fairly peaceful, like somebody started screaming and arguing with someone else. That went off like 20 minutes. For the most part, it was fairly peaceful, but I regret it. Now, I'm seeing like on social media and the news and stuff like that, where kids are being, are going to protests, holding signs, speaking at protests and stuff like that. We have to also understand. Now, I ain't trying to tell y'all how to raise y'all damn children. I ain't trying to do that, okay? Because I got my own to raise. And being a parent does not come with instructions or a handbook, okay? We are winging the hell out of this thing called parenting. All right? Say that to say this. I think it is so important that we allow our children to be children. I saw like this beautiful black boy holding up a sign. At what age do I go from being cute to being a threat? It's 10. It's 10 years old. Now, I don't want y'all to get mad at me for calling out that number, but let's just call it what it is. It is 10 years old. It is. That's when society views our black boys and our black girls as threats. And for black little girls, they viewing them as hoes and bitchs. And everything up under the sun. Yes, I do think we need to explain to our little black boys and our little black girls about police brutality, about systematic racism, about white supremacy. I do think that we need to have those type of conversations, but not with a 4-year-old. Now, my upbringing, I don't know about y'all upbringing and how y'all was raised. There were certain things that I found out on my own, because kids are smart. They're not stupid. There were certain things I found out on my own. There were, yes, certain things that I had no business seeing as a little kid. But there were also things that my parents just didn't talk about in front of me. I don't approve of 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds being in the forefront of protests. At protests where where even little children are being tear gassed, where people are dying and being severely injured from rubber bullets. Now, we can go in there with the intention of a protest being peaceful, but we don't know what's going to happen at this protest. And I also want to say, too, children suffer from anxiety. Children suffer from depression. And so often as adults, we get so wrapped up in how we feel and what's going on. And we're already working on fight or flight mode. Especially as black people, we've been working off of fight or flight mode for 400 plus years. Our children already see the stress that we go through being black in America and all of that stuff. They already see that. Now, with that being said, I feel like we don't always tap into really asking our children how they feel, how their mental is going, how are they feeling emotionally. even with the day-to-day stresses, aside from what's going on with police brutality. Let's take that out of it. We could even talk about Corona. The fact that these kids can't even go to, my daughter couldn't even go to her preschool graduation. She's going to kindergarten. She couldn't even go to her graduation, really, because of Corona. There's a lot of kids that could not go to prom. There's a lot of kids that can't see their friends, can't go to graduation. And these are one-in-a-lifetime moments that were stripped away from them, okay? Something that we could not control for them. And we have continued to do the best that we can with coming up with creative ideas for these children, for our children, okay? For our Black children. A lot of times we don't stop to think about them, how they feel. So now on top of all of this going on with Corona and quarantine and all of this, you now have the protests and police brutality. I don't think it's okay for adults, for us, to subject things like this to our children at an early age, to put them in the front of protests, to become human shields, basically. To become our human shields to protect us from traumatic experiences. And then some of y'all parents think it's okay to put your kids in the forefront of protests, to wear certain signs and do all of that. Y'all do a lot of this for clout. Let me get more views. Let me get more clicks and more views. I see it all the time just on YouTube and stuff like that. My daughter has a YouTube channel. I'm going to just say that. She has an Instagram. I want to say about last year, she said she don't want to do it no more. I had to respect that. There's sometimes where she adores being on camera with me and certain mukbangs and stuff like that. You can even see some of my videos where she's on camera. That's because she says she wants to be. But the minute she doesn't want the camera in her face, she doesn't want to take pictures, I have to respect that. Because I'm not the type of parent that does it for clout. A lot of y'all doing it for clicks and views. A lot of y'all are feeding off of this, piggybacking off of this, and using it to sell merchandise. Using it for clicks and views so that people could buy your raggedy, cheap-ass merch. You using your kids for clout. It's called clout chasing, honey. And it's also called performative activism. But I'm going to get to that later on in the video. Once our Black, beautiful girls and boys get a certain age, they're already going to have to deal with enough. So why are we subjecting this to them at such an early age? Peppa Pig on TV. Watch Peppa Pig. Ninja Turtles. I know they still got Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. Let these kids play in the sand. Do some arts and crafts with them. It also leaves us to take our minds off of what is happening. It's okay to log off. It's okay to decompress. It's okay to take time off and tap into your kid. Go ride a bike with your kid. Some of the parks are opening now. Go ride a bike with your kid. Go do some arts and crafts with your kid. Go just dance in your house with your kid. Go watch Sesame Street. We were doing these things at their age, because even at their age, police brutality was going on. Let me tell you something. I remember when I first was exposed to systematic racism and police brutality. I was 12 years old, 13 years old. And to this day, I will never forget. My dad said, we are going to a protest. And as I got older and older, he started giving me books and that would help me understand my history. That's how he started out, giving me books, age appropriate books. As I got older, doing book reports, I was learning more about Malcolm X and all of that, and not just Martin Luther King, because I know how the school system like to do it. He ain't the only one. So he would just do that. So at 12 years old, Amadou Diablo got shot 41 times in his hallway. He was putting his hands up. He had pulled his wallet out, and they thought that he had a gun. I remember my parents taking me to a protest. And I remember seeing just a whole bunch of candles and flowers they was leaving out for him. It was so many people. It was so many police officers there. that's when we saw Al Sharpton. It was so crowded. I saw people crying. The look and the hurt in people's eyes, people that looked like me, to see that hurt and that pain at such a young age. I remember going into the hallway and putting my fingers. This was after they did all the investigation and all of that. This was months later, after the trial and all of that. But when my dad took me to protest, I remember going into the hallway where he got shot and putting my fingers into the holes, the bullet holes. And there were people that signed their name. I remember signing my name on the wall. It was up the street from my great-grandmother's house. I remember it to this day, and it's something that I just will never forget. And I was watching something on Netflix where they brought about the Amadou Diablo case, and it was just like a trigger moment for me. And as I got older, I was also grateful for that moment because it was an eye-opener for me. I was 12, 13. I wasn't 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm sure all of that was going on when I was 5, 6, 7, 8. But I wasn't subjected to that. And we have to learn to protect our kids. And a lot of y'all parents should be ashamed of yourselves as far as doing it for clicks and views. I understand taking pictures. You want to take a powerful picture. Because I thought about that. Taking a powerful picture for Juneteenth and just making a statement. I thought about doing that. But I never want to do anything for clout. I never want to do anything, for clicks and views, to gain followers or anything like that. I never want to do that. I always want to be my authentic self and make sure that everything I do is coming from the heart and it's pure, whether people like it or not. But I say that when it comes to clicks and views and clout chasing, I say that because what I've noticed is this performative activism. Now, it says performative activism is a pejorative term referring to activism done to increase one's social capital rather than because of one's devotion to the cause. It is often associated with surface level activism referred to as slacktivism. And the examples here was the killing of George Floyd. Now, I'm seeing a lot of you content creators do it. I saw, what's his name from Black Panther? What's his name? Let's look up his damn name. What's his damn name from Black Panther? He was doing it too. Let's see. Michael B. Jordan. I saw him dressed up in that Black Panther aesthetic. He got into his Black Panther attire and coming down there looking hella out of place. Wasn't even walking with the people. Looking mad weird. There was also somebody in Minnesota doing the same thing. Leading a protest and then leading all the protesters to be ambushed by police because they were caught protesting out of past curfew. And I'm seeing a lot of, especially some white women holding these signs about black DICK, black penis and all of that. Like all of that performative activism, that fake stuff, you're not helping the cause. Especially Kylie Jenner. All she does is retweet. You got a whole black ass baby daddy and a black baby. And you sitting there with your performative antics. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. Like, are you for the cause or are you not? Okay, you trying to do this for clicks and views. You trying to do this to get camera time. You trying to do this for a viral moment. I know somebody, a content creator, using this, the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud, using all of this, what we are currently fighting for, like what's happening right now, using that opportunity to plug in the damn podcast, using that opportunity to plug in your stale ass album, using that opportunity just to gain clout. You don't really want to fight for injustice. You don't want to really fight side by side with me Stop this performative activism, okay? Because I am who I am when this camera shuts off, okay? I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, and I'm going to stand up for my people when this camera shuts off. I don't do this for a viral moment. I don't do this for clicks and views, okay? But a lot of y'all do, and a lot of y'all content creators should be ashamed of yourself. I will support you if you are really down for the cause. If you are really down to talk about something. You have my full undivided attention and you have my full support. Period. But the performative activism, it has to be stopped. People have to be called out. There are people out here losing their lives protesting and standing on the front lines. For you to be in the bleacher section acting a damn fool. Keep your magic markers, okay? Keep your FedEx boxes and stay home and stay quiet if you're going to start this performative activism crap, because we're not here for it. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help the cause. It don't help black folks. And that's on period. I ain't here to police people because I'm not perfect. If y'all go back and dig up some tweets or something I posted on Facebook, you might find something that ain't right. But as you learn and as you grow and as you educate yourself, you learn about different things. I'm not here trying to police people, but I'm just here to call people out on the fakeness. We have to. And that even brings up my point about having our kids in the forefront, having our kids exposed to that. At such a young age, we don't need to do that. That's just my suggestion. Now listen, I don't like when people police me, so I ain't here to police people. Take it how you want it. You can take it. If it's too heavy for you to carry, drop it, leave it on the ground. I really don't care, but these are just my feelings. These are just how I feel. And I'm not condemning anybody. I'm not talking bad about anybody's beautiful children that have been out there. I'm just saying, as parents, we have to protect our children. We are doing what we're doing. Everyone is doing what they're doing on the front lines and fighting for injustice and all of that. We are fighting for not only for us, but for our children. Our children don't need to be there with us at such a young age. At such a young age. We don't need to do that. We have to protect our children. And as parents too, it takes a village to raise a child. We got to protect other people's kids too from harm and danger. And this is why I decided to say what was on my heart. Y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Please share the video or please comment below and let me know what you guys think, if you guys feel the same way as I do. We have to protect our children's innocence, and we have to call people out on their fake antics that could potentially put us in harm's way with our children being in the forefront of these protests. With the performative activism is what I'm referring to. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys feel the same way, if you guys took your kids to protest, I don't know. Let me know how you feel. If you didn't regret it, that's fine. More power to you. I hope it was fulfilling, and I hoped it gave you what you needed. Thank you for watching, y'all. Bye. There's so many kids, black kids, beautiful black children that have been killed by police. We have Nicholas Hayward, he was 13. Tamir Rice was 12. Trey King, 13. Ayanna Stanley Jones was 7. Trayvon Martin was 17. Cameron Tillman was 14. Jordan Edwards was 15. Kawan Carrington was 15. Laquan McDonald, 17. Deonta Farrell was 12. So y'all might look at me like, oh, why she say 10? Why she say 10? All of them are over 10 years old, except for Ayanna. You still gonna take your kid to the protest to be on the forefront? This is why I regretted it. Let your kids be kids.